Hi, welcome to the very first Fraser edition of International House Hunters. We are the Frasers, Jason and Sarah. We have 5 children, Jack, Titus, Emilia, Leanna, and Joel. In January, we plan to move to the country of Honduras. Before we move, we need a house. So in November, Jason and Sarah hopped on a plane in Charleston, West Virginia, and traveled to the city of El Progreso, Honduras. After passing banana plantations on the way to the city, we learned we would be seeing our very first house that afternoon. The first house was beautiful and very Honduran. Take a look at the inside. It would meet all of our needs and would be within our budget. After looking at our first option, we headed back to the church property. Iglesia Bautista El Faro, or Lighthouse Baptist Church, is located on several acres of land with beautiful mountains in the background. Started almost 15 years ago, this church has grown to almost 200 people and is a vibrant part of the El Progreso community. They have ministries all over the city and are doing wonderful things to minister and reach their people. Listen to their beautiful voices praising God on a Sunday morning. Please pray for the church here in Honduras as they work to further God's kingdom. The next day, we stopped by a friend's house to ask around if there were any houses available. Then we traveled to another subdivision to see a house. Fortunately, it was still under construction and might not be done by January. But while we were touring this house, the woman mentioned there was another house in this area for rent. We hopped in the car to see option 3. It was a beautiful blue color and met all of our needs. When we called our boys later, they told us, "Go for that house, it has the playground." God's will and direction as once again we headed back to the church property. Looking to the right of the church as you drive in, you see 2 large cottages. These are Hope for Honduras children's homes. Although one is empty, the larger house is home to over 20 children, with the Gardner family in charge of taking care of all of them. We were excited to eat dinner with the big family and smiled and laughed at the silliness of these sweet kiddos. Will you pray God continues to meet the needs of the home? Will you also pray that God sends another family for the other cottage? Our last house was not in a private subdivision, but it was right around the corner from the grocery store. It was also the largest house we looked at. Although with 5 bathrooms and 5 bedrooms, it had an unusual arrangement. The shower was in one closet and the toilet was in the other. This was our 4th and final option. After seeing all of the houses, we decided to spend the next 2 days praying over our decision. During our visit, we have been staying at the Rurik Surgical Center. Listen to Jason as he shares our latest update.
Fraser, I want to give you an update on where we were at and what we have been doing with our deputation. And so we have just recently been in the last church that we had scheduled for our deputation. And so we're so excited. Sarah and I have been down here in Honduras. I'm standing right in front of the Rurik Surgical Center where we'll be working. And we have been looking for a house to live in. The Lord has given us a place that's really close to the church that we'll be able to live and do our ministry here at the Rurik Surgical Center. And so Sarah and I have been talking to a lawyer about our residency, and we've started that paperwork. And then, so the next things that we are going to be doing, we will be heading back to the United States, and we have our commissioning service on December the 8th. And so we're very excited about that and thankful for our home church. and then we'll be packing up over the next few weeks, and we will be moving to Honduras on January the 8th. So please pray for us as we are traveling, as we are working on paperwork and preparing our children, that the Lord would please be with us, and that this whole process would go very smoothly. Thank you all very much.
Will you please pray that God will provide everything we need for the RERIC to be up and running? There are lots of logistics and details, but God is working. Back to the house hunting. Which option do you think we will choose? Here is the winner. We are so humbled God answered your prayers. You see, we have been praying for several months for the right house. We even had you pray for us as well. And this is the answer, and only God could provide like He did. What a good and kind and amazing God we serve. Will you pray for us as we transition into moving to Honduras in the next few weeks? We cannot wait to see how God will move in our hearts and the hearts of our children. We have a lot of planning and packing left to do. Thank you for partnering with us and praying for us.